turned off all of the fans in here so that it would be quiet enough, and that means I have about 20 minutes before I start to look like a glazed donut that somebody left in their car in the middle of summer. So, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another midweek video. After a little bit of a slightly lengthened / unplanned hiatus, I am happy to be back, and hopefully I'm getting back in the swing of things. But if you are subscribed to my channel, then you probably saw my community announcement about some of the things happening in the background. So if you are a subscriber, thank you for extending me the courtesy to work on all of those issues in the background for the last couple of weeks or so, as we've uprooted our life, moved across state lines for the summer, and everything else that has happened. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to this channel, especially if you've already watched a couple of my videos. I really appreciate the support. It helps my channel out a ton. With all of that said, I am really excited to be discussing today's video topic. I will be reviewing Torklift International's Super Truss Hitch Extension and Super Hitch Magnum Trailer Hitch Receiver. Before we get into the video, I do want to issue the disclaimer that this product was sent to me for free in exchange for my honest review and critique by Torklift International. I've worked with them in the past, as you might know, and I reached out to them before we hit the road for the summer, asking if they would want to work together again, and they said yes. A huge thank you to Torklift International for making this video possible. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. This summer is our first summer traveling and living in this truck camper. We bought it last fall. And if you have not been following along for very long, or you just clicked on this video, then you won't know that we have a small cargo trailer that serves as our garage / storage space. And it has made living a tiny life a whole lot easier because we have a place to put out of season clothes and all of our mini tools for our mini DIY projects. It is an absolute must, and I love our little cargo trailer. And I knew that this summer, since we were going to have the truck camper, I wanted to bring the cargo trailer with us so that we could have everything that we might need. In order to do that though, we were going to need a hitch extension because our truck camper hangs off the end of my truck about 1.5 to 2 feet, and the tongue of our cargo trailer is a little bit too short to tow without some type of extension there, so that our turning radius is a little bit further back and we're not worried about crunching something important on the camper or the trailer, which would obviously be a huge bummer. Hitch extensions are not a new concept. There are plenty of companies out there that manufacture them. I actually used to have a much smaller scale one than the one that we have now that I bought at Harbor Freight. So they are out there and they are available. But if you want a top of the line product that is backed by a lifetime warranty made proudly here in the USA, then you could not look much further than Torklift International's Super Hitch Magnum Trailer Hitch Receiver and Super Truss Hitch Extension. These two products are on the pricier side. The hitch extension retails for around $660 and the hitch receiver retails for around $2,000. So I understand why some people would opt for a little bit more of a budget-friendly option, and I definitely don't ever begrudge anyone that. We have to do what makes sense for us. But if you have the choice and you have the option, I don't think that you could do much better than Torklift. The care that goes into manufacturing the products is very obvious, and if you are a user and lover of Torklift International already, then you know that. Now, when I had initially been in talks with Torklift about these two products, I don't know what I was thinking that I was going to get. I mean, the first time that I worked with them, they sent us their fast guns, which are part of the tie-down system that secures this camper to my truck. And those came in one very small, skinny box that weighed maybe 25-30 pounds. So that was what my expectation was set at, but that is not what came in the mail. We got a number of boxes of varying weights, the heaviest of which had to be around 100 pounds, and that was obviously the hitch receiver. This hardware is very robust, and I did not realize how incredibly robust it was until we got it in the mail and I started unboxing it. So let me take you through the features of the hitch extension and receiver. I have them written down here in front of me so that I don't have to try to remember them from rote. So this system is designed for campers and trailers up to 12 feet long, and it's available in 8 different lengths up to 60 inches. We went with the 36-inch option. It has hardened reinforced hitch pin locations, uses a patented no-drill technology for ease of installation, has the highest tow capacity in the industry. The hitch and receiver arrived with everything that we would need to to install them, and there was definitely some assembly required. We had to remove the old hitch receiver on my truck to install the Super Hitch Magnum, and it is a very hefty piece of equipment. Start to finish, if we had not hit any snags installing the receiver, I think it probably would have taken us maybe an hour and a half. It really is designed to be straightforward and super simple. The issues that we ran into were not on Torklift whatsoever. It has everything to do with the fact that I am driving a nearly 20-year-old truck with pretty rusty bed bolts, and we ended up having to cut through the top of my bed to get to one of the bolts because it had basically seized on the nut that it was screwed into and was just spinning in there, and we couldn't get it to come out any other way. So I have a very groovy tiny hole in the bed of my truck now, but we got the job done. And like I said, that's not on Torklift. That is fully just because I have an older vehicle, and because of that, it did end up taking us pretty much all day to troubleshoot and figure out a solution and work through it. It's just kind of the way these things go. Once we got through that snag, it was very smooth sailing to get everything installed and hooked up. I really appreciate the fact that Torklift includes pictures in the installation guides for every single step, and they make a point to go in and color the part that you are working on in yellow so that it's super obvious which thing you're supposed to be working on at each individual step. I think that's something that Torklift does across the board with all of their installation manuals, but it's just something that I really appreciated, so I wanted to mention it. This is definitely not something that I could have done by myself. Well, if I absolutely had to, I could have done it by myself, but it probably would have taken me 3 days. There were just things that needed to be done that I had never done before, like removing my old hitch receiver and going through the top of my bed to remove a rusted bed bolt, things like that that I've never done before. But if you are someone who's reasonably handy and willing to take your time working through things, then I think that this is something that anybody can do. And Torklift also includes installation and product videos for pretty much all of their products, so I will make sure and link some of those down in the description of this video so that if you do decide to go this route, you can know what you're getting into ahead of time. I really like how stable and sturdy the entire system feels. That thing is not going anywhere anytime soon, and honestly, it will probably outlive the rest of my truck. Getting the trailer hooked up was super easy. It was just like hooking up any other trailer to any other hitch. And there was never a doubt or question in my mind about whether or not these products could handle the demands we were placing on them. It's very clear that they're designed to work and work really well. Once we got everything hooked up and we were on the road, it was incredibly smooth sailing. The cool thing about the hitch extension, at least to me, is the fact that it moves your turning radius back so much that even with the camper on my truck, I never felt like I was worried about us getting in a bind or turning so sharply that we needed to be worried about something getting crunched. The crazy thing is, I think it improved our turning radius so much that we could turn at a 45-degree angle without any fear of anything getting damaged, which, if you know anything about towing trailers, is pretty incredible. And the majority of the time when we were on the road, I wasn't even worried about the system at all. I knew that it was going to work fine. The only time that I would think about it would be when I would look over at our rear view camera and see it in the viewfinder. We traveled all the way from East Texas up to Central Missouri with 0 incidents, 0 problems. There were a couple of times we had to adjust the chains, but that's just going to happen. You're just going to have that. They're adjustable for a reason. And that was the only time that we ever messed with it. I want to say more about these products, but there just isn't a whole lot to say. They're great products, they're quality products, they work really well, the manufacturing is excellent, and although they are expensive, if you can afford it, I don't think that you could do any better. That's really all there is to say about it. If you are interested in checking out these products or any of the other products that Torklift carries, I will link them down in the description of this video and in a pinned comment as well. If you are a user of the supertruss extension and Super Hitch Magnum receiver, I would love to hear your thoughts. I am curious to see how the entire thing holds up over time with normal wear and tear, but like I said, I honestly think it will probably outlast my truck. So that is pretty much it for this product review. Simple, sweet, to the point. Once again, a huge thank you to Torklift International for making this video possible and majorly hooking us up. I'm not sure what alternative we would have gone with if we hadn't had this, but I can guarantee it would not have been as excellent as what we ended up with. So I am very, very, very appreciative. So let me know what your thoughts are, but that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up because it helps me out a lot, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate each and every one of you who has subscribed in the last few months. It means more than you can possibly know. But that is it for me for now. Bye.